Happy Valentine's Day, folks. It is Friday, February 14th. The time right now is 5:30 p.m. and the temperature is minus 6 degrees Celsius. And I'm here trekking through the snow on Bloor Street East. I'm currently walking east. We had a pretty major snowfall a few nights ago. We're in for a lot more this weekend as I walk past Castle Frank Station. Where suddenly the sidewalk gets much better. The bike lane seems to be pretty hit or miss. But fairly well used. It's mostly food couriers out in these conditions. There's a lot of people waiting to board a bus at Castle Frank. But for this one, I'll be walking a few kilometers east over the Bloor Viaduct and then onto Danforth Avenue. And then I'll keep going east through the Plater Estates into Greektown. And the recent accessibility project will be completed as elevators have been installed that service the east and westbound platforms. Disadvantages of having split platforms. You have to build an elevator down to each one. And the neighborhood to the south of here, or rather to the north of here, it's the very affluent Rosedale neighborhood. Outside of downtown. I'll be crossing over the Don Valley in a few minutes. There's someone going for a jog. Gotta be careful with vehicles making their way down to Vday Avenue here. Of course, I say that. That wasn't the worst turn in the world, but still, you're supposed to yield. There's people over there not using the bike lane. Actually, they are. It's just not protected on this side. And this is the Bloor Viaduct, otherwise known as the Prince Edward Viaduct. It was built back in 1919. Apparently during the big snowstorm a few nights ago, this was an absolute gong show. Traffic wasn't moving in either direction. At least that's what a viewer of this channel told me. It spans a little under 500 meters. When it was built, they anticipated the arrival of a rail line underneath. Later in 1966. Line 2 was completed. And that wouldn't have been possible if the good people who designed this bridge didn't anticipate that. And you'll notice it has this protective barrier up, which often lights up at night. It's called the luminous veil. There's about 9,000 steel rods in total. And that was installed as this became, unfortunately, a hotspot for suicide jumpers. Towards Young and Eglinton. That's Bayview Avenue down below. But unfortunately, the number of suicides in the city didn't decrease when these barriers were installed. But there was a corresponding rise in subway jumpers. Given that this was a known place for that unfortunate activity, I think action had to be taken. This was an appropriate measure. Still Bloor Street East, but it will become Danforth Avenue once we emerge onto the other side of the Don Valley. And other than the area where I started recording, I would say the sidewalks haven't been so bad. They were atrocious in front of my apartment building. A lot of people are opting to just walk on the street. Down at the Don River, which isn't frozen over. Someone wisely has a face mask up, a visor on the helmet. Some people have asked why I don't do too many e-bike or scooter videos in the winter. And one of the biggest reasons, there's someone else with a visor, is when it's cold out, my nose just doesn't stop flowing when I'm riding. And while I can deal with that if I'm just going from A to B, it makes things awkward if you're making a video. It's not a very pleasant audio experience. Listening to someone sniffle every few seconds. There's the skyline. And Riverdale Park. It's just south of here. About to cross the Don Valley Parkway, sometimes referred to as the Don Valley parking lot. Someone else with the visor, and they had mitts on, which is a smart idea. There's the DVP. Traffic moving well southbound. A little a little slow northbound. And I'm not sure if I've recorded it yet since it's been fully reopened, but I think the Alexander Park revitalization has finished in Greektown. There's some plaques commemorating the building of the Bloor Viaduct. Just north of here, there's an excellent spot called the Chester Hill Lookout, where you get a fantastic view of the skyline. That little park there is the Plater Gardens, as we are entering a neighborhood known as the Plater Estates. Waterproof footwear. It's a good idea, of course. At least I remembered to wear some this time. I was out yesterday at the auto show and I just wore my trail shoes. I went for a walk after and my feet got soaked. To be careful walking over surfaces like this. They can be quite slippery. This one is no exception.
She found a playground.
And welcome to Broadview Avenue, where the 504 King and 505 Dundas streetcars terminate right at Broadview Station. And we're now on Danforth Avenue. People refer to this area as Greektown, but Greektown doesn't actually start until we get to a street called Chester. Some vehicles, or rather drivers, getting stuck in the intersection, making things difficult for those wanting to turn left. Not sure why this lady decided to go. Who is she complaining about? Maybe she's just on speakerphone. But apparently we're going to get some snow tomorrow, and then on Sunday, it's really going to come down. New shawarma spot. And the Danforth Music Hall is across the street. And I think tonight a band called Arizona is playing. Well, that's what it says on the marquee, but I also looked that up on my way over here.
Like the throw wheel?
That's probably their tour bus. The sidebar is quite excellent. Things are a little livelier on that side of the street. There's Z80, an arcade bar. Factory Girl, another decent restaurant. And this is Plater Boulevard coming up. And here's something we've been seeing more of in the city lately. There's a Krispy Kreme. That smells really good. In fact, this area has one of the highest concentrations of restaurants in the world. So challenges of being an urban jogger in these conditions. And these bike lanes went in during the pandemic. And they were a source of controversy initially. I think they've been an excellent boost to local businesses. And in the mornings, at least, when there's not a million feet of snow on the ground, there's many traffic jams in them. They're so well used. It remains to be seen if the provincial government is targeting the bike lanes on Danforth like he is on the Bloor part of the bike lanes. There's a vegetarian restaurant. Series Treasures Wholesale Retail. It's an interesting looking shop. And here at Chester Avenue, Greektown begins. Face and body transformation. All right. Chester Station is just north of here. That's line 2 runs north of Danforth. There's a very curious New York subway-esque sign just up ahead. I'm not sure the story behind the sign. I don't think it's an official TTC sign. You can see it right there. There's Astoria Restaurant. And Louis Cypher closed. That's a microbrewery and bar. I think it closed about 1.5 years or 2 years ago. It's a very big space and it still sits unoccupied. They're stacked. It's an excellent breakfast joint.
He goes both ways, and if it's
It's the new location of Mez's. They're going to be packed tonight. The place is usually quite busy. There's their old location, which they still use for private events. I would have expected to see more people walking around with roses and boxes of chocolates. Here's the revitalized Alexander the Great parquet. I think they did a pretty awesome job with it.
yeah.
I believe this will be a fountain. There's Alexandros. Why I pronounced it that way? I think when I wear my headphones, that kind of throws me off a little bit. I should stop wearing these when I record. There's Alexander the Great. There's Koh Samui, an excellent Thai restaurant. But there's an even better one here called Chiang Mai. I think I already walked past it. But it's on the south side. And some parts of Greektown are still fairly dominated
many
by
nice
those of
thing about
Greek
our
descent.
You gotta make sure when you're splashing, you're going around.
It's certainly changed over the years. That used to be Atlantis. There's the fox and the fiddle.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, that was, and then this guy was like, oh, it could also be because you're like grinding your teeth. And I was like, I use a
And
bike
that
guard.
place over there has some of the best ramen in the city. Ramen, Buddha, Nebo.
Well, no, but like the days we were bike, like the biker. He was like, oh, but like maybe. Right.
It's a used bookshop. Pizza libretto. I'm kind of surprised to see Taps is still here. That was a St. Louis Wings location, and that closed. And Taps moved in, and it is almost never busy. It's been there for a good 3 years or so now. There it is, almost completely empty. Speaking of usually empty, Michael's on the left. It's never all that busy. It wasn't until 1993 that this was officially recognized as Greektown. And it's gentrified quite a bit since then. There's a Caribbean restaurant.
We could just go to Circle K, or do you want back?
One of the things Greektown lacks is a big supermarket. You've got Foodland over there. There's a No Frills just south of Broadview in Danforth. And there's a supermarket north of Cape Pier. I wonder what's up there in those two floors. Looks like an event space. Price War. There's one of these on Bloor Street across from Honest Ed's. I don't know if that one is still there. Station is just north of here. Into Ontario Line construction. Much of this block here has been torn down. There's no sidewalk here. That's not stopping these people walking through the bike lane. This Circle K's used to be Nando's Chicken at one point. burger restaurant opened where Momo used to be. Right next to the Grub Shack, another burger restaurant. Vincenzo Burger and Breakfast. Cape Station is being expanded to accommodate an Ontario line stop. Not sure why Metrolinx needs such a huge staging ground here. That was pleasant. But I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I may or may not be going to the wing stop just up ahead here. I know, super romantic spot. But I've grown to be a fan of it. Haven't tried this Korean fried chicken bar yet. But do let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you wish to support what I do on YouTube. There's links as my voice starts to fade to my Instagram and YouTube channel membership down below, as well as Patreon. And it's not too busy. But do like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry I was a little bit out of it. That's just the way it goes sometimes. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Yoink, and happy Valentine's Day.